All right, guys, so Season 5 gave us what is probably one of the most complicated additions Fortnite has ever seen, NPC quest givers. Okay, so there are currently 40 of them located at various points of the map, each with their own unique set of quests and rewards and, even new exotic weapons that you can't find anywhere else. But honestly, okay, everything's revolving around these NPCs has been incredibly overwhelming, so you gotta try to get used to them, right? So to help us clear this confusion that some of us might be going through, I'm gonna tell you guys everything that you need to know about the NPC system, including the most important quest givers, how to get lots of gold bars, and some tips relating to exotic weapons. Plus, at the end, we're gonna give you guys a special peek at some of the leaks that are gonna be coming along the way. So this video will probably contain more information than you probably need. So here are some timestamps in case you guys just want to skip ahead. Other than that, leave a like on the video, sub to the channel, and drop a comment telling us who your favorite NPC is. Bunch of Crunch Army. Yo, let's get this video started. All right, guys, so first and foremost, what are these NPCs even used for? And where can you find them? Well, basically, NPCs are for quests that, when completed, reward you with gold bars. And these gold bars are currency that you can use to purchase things from them. Most quests that they offer are straightforward and can typically be completed in the zone that you pick them up. But then there are some tougher ones, like ones that require dealing damage to players or even bounties that have you eliminate enemy players. As for where NPCs are located, here is a map that shows their general locations as of December 7th. Some of these are duplicates though, like Fish Stick, but a duplicate just means that they have multiple spawn locations, right? And they're not guaranteed to be in the same spot every game. Okay, so what can you buy from these guys, all right? What's worth it and what's not worth it? Well, some of the more useful things NPCs offer are weapons, weapon upgrades, healing items, ammo, and even utility items like bouncers. What they offer for sale is usually random, but it'll still be within the bounds of that character, right? So one might sell assault rifles, another might sell shotguns, and so on. And for purchases that don't really feel worth it, you got things like revealing card, chests, and character locations, buying junk items like cabbages and apples, and even hiring the NPC as your personal bodyguard. These things just won't really have a significant impact on the outcome of your games. And when it comes to hiring NPCs, they kind of help in fights, but the AIs aim so bad that you really just don't expect them to carry you, right? They're more just like meat shields that just help draw enemy fire. All right, let's talk about bounties for a second, all right? First off, how do bounties work? Well, you could just actually start one from most NPCs or from Bounty Board, which can be found in one of these spots. When you accept a bounty though, all right, you're gonna receive a target that's always the closest nearby enemy. You have about 6 minutes to eliminate them, and if you're successful, you're gonna be awarded with 70 gold bars. But to make it easy, your opponent's location is revealed in the form of a large yellow circle on your map, which there is somewhere inside of. The good part about it is that they won't get to see where you're at. However, they will see a threat level indicator that increases as you close in on their location, so expect them to be ready to fight. And I think a really big question a lot of us have is, should I take bounties? And we like to say, yes, you should take every single one you see, because even if you don't need the gold bars or you just don't feel like fighting, it'll at least reveal the location of a nearby enemy, which is excellent information to have. But to talk more about the gold bar system, all right, what's unique is that all your gold bars carry over between games. So if you end a game with 1,000 bars, you'll start the next game with the same number. The only exception currently is with competitive modes such as arena or in-game tournaments. In those, you can still earn, find, and spend gold bars, but they won't carry over between games. And you start each match back at 0. Epic might change how gold works in competitive mode soon, which we'll discuss later in the video, but for now, I wouldn't worry about gold in arena too much. What you should worry about in arena though is learning how to fight like a pro so you can just rank up. For that, you definitely got to check out Clix's new master course on our site, which teaches you how to play like one of the best box fighters in the entire world. So to check it out, just click up here or just visit the link in the description. All right, moving on. When it comes to acquiring gold bars, this really isn't all that something that's challenging, right? For the most part, you could just play normally, as you could just farm furniture and just open chests, and you're gonna start stacking up gold. You can also get 100 or more gold from these safes that have a chance to spawn around the map, usually near chest locations. Be sure to be on the lookout for those, as well as cash registers. Cash registers can be found in stores like, the grocery store or at retail, and you could just open them for a substantial chunk of gold. They also also have a chance at dropping powerful loot, which might be a bug. Still, we've seen this insane loot come out of cash registers a few times already, so as a side tip, definitely remember to hit them up just like you would a regular chest. Still, like if you're looking to repeatedly farm gold bars, I would recommend just creating a path along, easily completable quests, aka no damage or elimination quests that require enemy players. For instance, here is an example path that we came up with. Here we go. You start by landing at Farmer Steele's farm, just east of the Coliseum. You loot the house and break all the furniture inside, finish the corn quest if it's available, and get the quest that has you go to the apple orchard. You then head across the river to the orchard where Sunflower has a few more easy quests waiting for you. There's hiding in a hay bale, destroying a hay bale, and collecting 4-H items, all of which can be completed right here. You can then check for a safe spawn inside the corner of the barn underneath the second floor chest. Afterward, you can just go and check if Tomato Head is working the counter at the pizza pit, where he offers a few more simple quests that might generate you some more gold. That's just one path that you can do, but alone can quickly get you over 100 bars in the first 5 minutes of the game. Sometimes more too. I know most of us probably won't need to do this, but if you're after those really unique and powerful exotic weapons, it might be a good idea to just farm for a few games just so you can just afford them. All right, speaking of which, let's move into exotic weapons. Here we go. So exotic weapons are a new rarity that seems to be somewhere between like legendary and mythic status. There are currently 5 exotic weapons that you can buy from NPCs. Each of them costs 1,225 gold bars, so that means that as of right now, it's doubtful that you're ever going to have enough to buy them in competitive mode. Still, as for where to buy them, they're always obtainable from the same NPCs, and 4 out of 5 of them always spawn in the exact same spot. So as long as you have the bars, you shouldn't have too much trouble getting one. All right, so getting into it, the first exotic is the Boom Sniper Rifle, which you can buy from Splode at the Unremarkable Shack at the north side of the map. It behaves like a sniper, but instead shoots out little clingers that deal 10 damage on impact, 25 for a headshot, and explodes shortly after, dealing 60 damage to players and 120 builds. So the Boom Sniper Rifle takes heavy ammo, holds 5 shots before needing a reload, and has bullet drop similar to a typical sniper. For the most part, I mean, you're just going to be using it like one, but when you need to, right? And you could just spam all 5 shots at players' builds and just use it as a way to either deal damage or even to replace your enemy's walls as they explode. But as for a more traditional sniper, next is the Storm Scout. So you can get this one from Lexa and Hunter's Haven. Its shots deal like 85 to the body, 200 plus to the head, and the scope reveals the next storm location, making it really useful just to at least pick up off of like a dead body, even if you don't plan on carrying it. All right, guys, so the Nighthawk Revolver is next, a scoped thermal vision revolver that can be bought from Man Cake at the Butter Barn southeast of 0 Point. It hits pretty hard too, like 44 to the body and 88 to the head. But of course, the thermal effect is what makes it really unique. Like if you feel that it helps you land more shots, this one might not be too bad to pick up, although you have to be pretty cracked at aiming to make it really worth it. The next exotic is the Shadow Tracker Pistol, which you can just get from Reese at the Big Warehouse and Dirty Docks. At its core, I mean, it's a silenced pistol that deals 29 to the body and 58 to the head at close distances, but each shot that you hit reveals the enemy's location just like a shakedown does, which makes it relatively easier to track enemies in fights. In team modes, one tip I can really give is to tag as many players as possible, since the tracking effect can be applied to multiple enemies at once, and that's really going to help you guys trace the entire squad. Now, the regular pistol's already underrated, and this one's tracking ability is a vast improvement, so overall, the tracker pistol is definitely worth buying, especially if you have a quick trigger finger. All right, guys, the last exotic in the game is the Dub Shotgun. Now, this one's probably like the strongest of the bunch, but it's a bit tougher to get because for some reason, the NPC that sells it, Dummy, can spawn at one of 2 locations, either north of Pleasant by some rocks or at Compact Cars. At close range, I mean, it hits for 120 to the body and 150 to the head and can fire 2 shots before needing to reload. So if you can just get right up into somebody, you're pretty much guaranteed to get the kill. It also has a self-inflicting knockback effect, which can be negated if you just crouch before shooting. So when you know that, it's really not all that bad and is more useful than anything. A single shot at your feet can send you up 3 stories or so, making it so useful for taking hide and build battles. You can also avoid fall damage with it as long as you just shoot before hitting the ground. And if it ever becomes the thing in tournaments, we'll probably see players rotating with it in in-games as well. So the Dub shotgun has a lot going for it right now, and to us, it's probably like the best one of the bunch. All right, guys, so that's it for exotic weapons, but NPCs don't only sell exotics. So let's go over all the other NPCs you need to know about. And this one is going to apply heavily to all of the comp players. So what do we mean by NPCs that you need to know about? Well, primarily those that offer high tier weapons or other handy utility that you can't otherwise easily acquire. First off, these are at least 2 NPCs that you can visit to get a purple heavy assault rifle. Menace in Colossal Coliseum and Kit in Caddy Corner can be dual for 1. Or you could just visit Bullseye in Steamy Stacks to buy one, although the AR she has for sale can be a regular one too. You can also duel a few NPCs for a purple SMG. There's Ragnarok at the Viking ship just west of Holly, Brutus located inside the building in the lower half of Dirty Docks, Big Chuggus, who can either be in Slurpy Swamp's main building or at the shanty town just outside of it. Splode, the guy that sells the exotic boom sniper, also can sell an RPG, which is, in our opinion, the better buy in the first place. Okay, so the other way to get an RPG is to visit Ruckus at Hydro 16. For some reason, he's always hostile, meaning you can't just talk to him like any other NPC. But if you eliminate him, he drops his RPG as well as a heavy assault rifle. If you want a better shotgun though, you can definitely hit up Bandolier, who's located at the Broken House far southeast of Slurpy. From what we've seen, guys, like he sells either attack or a charge, but he's in a kind of a weird spot, so I'd only check him out if you're in the area. And for that recently buff, Dragon's Breath Shotgun, you've got 2 choices, all right? Blaze is the first one. You can duel her at either Pristine Point, aka the houses northeast of Steamy, or at Timber Tent, which is the wooden log shaped like a tent south of Sweaty Sands. And you'll get her shotgun, but if you don't feel like dueling, you can always visit Condor in Misty Meadows, and for a couple of $100 or so, you can easily buy a Dragon's Breath Shotgun. Okay, now for all of you fish players out there, all right, 2 NPCs have a chance to sell floppers or slurpfish. First is Turk, but the downside with him is that he has not 1, not 2, but 3 spawn locations: Lazy Lake Island, Lake Cano, or next to the river just south of Steamy. The other fish proprietor is Outcast, who you can find behind the ice cream shop in Sweaty or Flopper Pond just south of it. But just know, guys, that it's not always floppers they sell. Sometimes it's another type of fish. Lastly, since Epic straight up removed upgrade benches from the game this season, you should definitely know which NPCs are capable of upgrading your weapons. Based on what we've seen, the ones shown here will always have an upgrade option available. Many of them have multiple spawn points, which definitely makes, consistent upgrades a lot more challenging. However, let me say this, you should definitely memorize the ones with consistent spawn points if you play Arena, since you could still usually get enough gold to upgrade at least once. Okay, so that's it for pretty much everything that relates to NPCs in the game right now. But I just want to finish, man, by just talking about what to expect as the season goes on, all right? First of all, there have been some really interesting leaks that definitely indicate we're going to see more NPCs and exotic weapons likely arriving really soon. Data miners did find information on a new NPC called Snowmondo, which we can only assume will be a part of December's Winterfest update. As for what he does, we really don't know yet, but a leaker by the name of Fortori did leak some potential exotics. As you can see, there's going to be some sort of dualies with a hop rock effect. 2 new SMGs, including one that might freeze players, 2 new rifles, one codenamed Big Money, and another burst, which I assume also freezes players when you shoot them. Then there's some sort of quad launcher making a return, and apparently a Dragon's Breath sniper rifle. So these new exotics are 100% confirmed, but it's very likely we're going to see them arrive sometime this month. And lastly, Epic announced in their competitive update blog that they're discussing a rework for the gold bar system in competitive playlists, which honestly needs to happen, really. Like, I'm not exactly sure what they could do, but maybe they could just lower the prices or have NPCs take materials as currency. I'm not sure, but definitely expect there to be some changes made for competitive. And if they do come out, we'll try to make a part 2 to this video that explains everything that you need to know. You know we're not going to leave you hanging. So make sure that you're subscribed so you can check that one out. All right, guys, so that is going to be it for today's video. Man, I hope you guys found this helpful and you learned something new, And, we just really appreciate if you guys just leave us a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a comment telling us who your favorite NPC is. And other than that, bunch of Crunch Army, keep grinding. Have an incredible day. I'll see you soon.